at the helm. The Broncos may be down, but they are never out.
I think what John has done speaks for itself. His ability to come back and make plays, and such a competitor when the game's on the line, he's going to find a way to get it done.
People are definitely aware of the fact that the Denver Broncos have come back several times and that the game's not over till it's over, so they better keep it strapped on for 60 minutes.
Along with Joe Theismann and Mark Malone, and welcome to the NFL on ESPN. The Denver Broncos found a gem in the 6th round of this year's draft. Running back Terrell Davis came into today as the AFC leader in total yards. And now with John Elway really beginning to heat things up, Denver is primed for a playoff run, Joe.
No, Michael, the Eagles don't enjoy a balanced attack like the Broncos do. In fact, their pass offense is among the worst in the NFL. But what they do excel at is running the football. And Ricky Waters leads the league's 2nd-ranked rushing offense, and its effectiveness is the key for Philadelphia tonight, Mark.
Joe, and our Sunday night spotlight starts with a key figure in stopping that running attack, Denver Pro Bowl defensive tackle Michael Dean Perry. I'll be back with video reports throughout the night to chart his impact. Mike?
Thank you, Mark. A year ago, Mike Shanahan and Ray Rhodes were the offensive and defensive coordinators with the Super Bowl champion 49ers. Tonight, they face each other as head coaches, each 5-4, and each very much in the playoff picture. The weather conditions very cold here in Philadelphia. The temperature 35, the wind chill 20. The wind, which could be a factor in the kicking game, is at 15 miles an hour, expected to diminish as the night goes along. Jason Elam will kick off for the Denver Broncos. Charlie Garner and Derek Witherspoon are deep. Kelvin Martin out tonight with a foot injury. Charlie Garner just inside the 20 and crosses to about the 23-yard line. Since taking over as the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, Rodney Peete is 4-1. He's been a very vocal leader. Fred Barnett thought he might get 100 catches in this offense, but he has only 26 as they have emphasized the run. The offensive line improved dramatically with the addition of Guy McIntyre, a 5-time Pro Bowler with San Francisco. Barnett is the setback, and now they shift. Saxon and Waters to split backs. And Peete to throw on 1st down, and he's got it out to the 30-yard line, complete to Calvin Williams. Steve Atwater made the tackle. On Denver's defensive line, Michael Dean Perry has done everything, stopping the run and leading the team in sacks. David Wyman is a terrific linebacker in between surgeries. He's only been able to play 8 games in 2 years. And Steve Atwater still provides the bone-jarring hits out of the secondary. The 5-time Pro Bowler leads the team in tackles. Wyman, number 92. He's been very effective when he stayed healthy. Play action by Peete. Screen. And a 1st down as they get the ball to Charlie Garner, and that's something Ray Rhodes emphasized. They have to get the ball to Charlie Garner more. Harry Boatswain, the starting right guard tonight. Joe Panos out for the year with a shoulder injury. They put him on injured reserve earlier in the week. And the Eagles have seen 3 offensive linemen go down this season. They have a rookie, Barrett Brooks, starting at left tackle. 3rd pass in a row. Here comes the blitz. Peete unloads, and it's incomplete. Intended for Barnett down at the 45, but he was under heavy pressure.
Well, you know, Michael, that's what you're going to see Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator of the Broncos, do. He's going to let you run some things, get a feeling for what he sees, and then he's going to try and fill the gaps with secondary people. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see Steve Atwater coming a flash right inside of Simon Fletcher, untouched, forces Peete to get rid of the football early.
So the Eagles have it 2nd and 10 from their own 36. And Waters gets his first carry. Drags the pile with him out to the 39-yard line. Michael Dean Perry, the first man in on the tackle. When Perry has been in there, they have done very well defensively. When he has not been in there, people have been able to run on Denver almost at will.
You know, they're very distinguished roles on this defense for Denver. James Jones, who came over from Cleveland, is the policeman. Michael Dean Perry's job is to go in and wreak havoc in the secondary, get penetration. Excuse me, in the backfield.
3rd and 7 for the Eagles. Another blitz off the corner. Peete unloads underneath. Charlie Garner. He has the first down out to the 48-yard line. So early, Denver throwing everything at Rodney Peete.
This is what happens when you bring corners, though, Mike, is they can come free, and you still have time to watch the left part of your screen. You're going to see the corner come scot-free, but he comes from so far away, Rodney has a chance to go underneath and let Charlie Garner pick up the rest of the yards. That's a well-conceived play by John Gruden, the offensive coordinator.
2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, and the single setback is Waters. Peete again. Barnett. Fred Barnett inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line. The saving tackle made by Tyrone Braxton, but it's a gain of 27.
Michael Dean Perry trying to get penetrations up against Harry Boatswain. Does the swim over, comes hard inside, gets help though. Raleigh McKenzie, the center, comes out. Barnett just makes the big plant. Big cushion given him. Now, if you're going to give that big a cushion, Ray Crockett's got to make the play.
Keep in mind the Eagles are next to last in the NFL in passing offense. They are 2nd in the NFL in running offense, and they have come out throwing. Charlie Garner tried to cut it outside. Not much room there as Atwater up in a hurry for run support.
You know, talking to Ray Rhodes, Mike, he basically said, hey, look, if we're going to contend for anything, we have to be better in the pass attack. We've established the run. We know we can run the football with Waters and Garner. Now we've got to throw the ball downfield. I like the fact that they've come out throwing, because you got to figure Denver expected them to come out running, so they're doing just the opposite of what you'd expect.
2nd and 9. Carpenter checks in as an additional wide receiver. And they look for Carpenter, and over his head, Wyman on the coverage. Carpenter looks around at Peete like, was that for me or somebody behind me?
I think the one thing that Rodney Peete is doing in this offense is he's rushing the ball just a little bit. He knows the receivers are running 4- and 5-yard routes. And as soon as he plants, he fires. He doesn't really give them a chance to get set. I think Rodney is still learning this offense. Don't forget, very little work in training camp, very little work the first part of this season.
This is the other area where the Eagles will miss the services of Kelvin Martin tonight as a 3rd wide receiver. It's 3rd and 9. 4-man rush. Peete has time this time, and Barnett makes the catch. Fred Barnett inside the 5. Atwater with another tackle. A gain of 23.
Michael, give credit to the guys up front. This offense is not necessarily built on giving him deep drops, but Barrett Brooks, number 76, the left defensive tackle or offensive tackle on Michael Dean Perry, just really stonewalls him. Rodney puts the ball up high, and Freddie makes a nice catch on a high thrown ball.
Fred Barnett was so excited about this offense, he thought he would have Pro Bowl numbers. It hasn't turned out that way. 1st and goal, Waters. Absolutely nowhere to go. Michael Dean Perry came in and blew up the play before it started.
This is where the Eagles missed the big fullback. This is where Kevin Turner is missed for the Eagles. You get down around the goal line, you've got Ricky Waters and Charlie Garner, two halfbacks. Who's going to block for who? So what I think John Gruden's got to do is he's got to move Rodney out of there a little bit and try and let them go into the end zone, throwing the football. I don't think you're going to be able to pound it down here.
Eagles have done a good job in their goal-to-go offense. Peete with play action. Throws, touchdown. His tight end, Reggie Johnson. His first catch of the year.
But it's well conceived. I mean, instead of just banging your head against the wall and say, we're going to pound it in, we're going to pound it in, run the play action. Let him think that Ricky Waters is going to be there. You'll see Reggie Johnson right on the end, right over here. He's going to go down and work into this void. It's play action with Rodney moving, and you'll see the line. Now, all he has to do is find a void. Good play action to Ricky. You hold the linebacker. Let him just slide on out. There it is.
Gary Anderson, the longtime Steeler, for the point after. And Philadelphia making a statement on its opening drive. Rodney Peete finishes off the impressive drive, throwing the touchdown pass to Reggie Johnson out of Florida. 7-0 Eagles, early first quarter. Gary Anderson to kick. Glenn Milburn, one of the best in the NFL, waits at the 7, and the Eagles coverage teams haven't scared anybody. Milburn still on his feet out near the 35-yard line. We've got a timeout. 7-0 Eagles. Back after this. Over at Denver, he installed the West Coast offense that he brought with him from San Francisco, but he has adapted it to suit his people.
Well, he really has. He ran it the first 6 weeks of the season, and John Elway just didn't feel comfortable. So he went to him and he said, look, let's try something different. They ran the no huddle against New England. Against the Oakland Raiders, they come out in the shotgun almost exclusively, and then they wind up going 2 tight ends against Arizona last week. So Shanahan is doing what his players do well, not just trying to bang his head against the wall with a system.
And to me, that's the essence of coaching. That's Gary Kubiak, the quarterback coach. Terrell Davis. Great opening burst, and he has the first down out at the 45. Take a look at the Denver offense. Last week, John Elway became only the 7th quarterback ever to pass the 40,000-yard mark. He's back in his comfort zone in the shotgun. Anthony Miller has provided the big plays, over 18 yards a catch, 8th in the conference in yards receiving. And up front, Mark Schlereth added toughness to the offensive line. He was a free agent signed from the Redskins. Elway changing the play at the line. Shannon Sharp with his first catch into Eagle territory. For Philadelphia's defense, Andy Harmon playing like an all-pro. 8.5 sacks, number 2 in the league for defensive tackles. William Thomas is having a big play season. He's number 1 on the team with 4 interceptions. That ties for 4th best in the NFL. And rookie Bobby Taylor has won the job at right corner. He's shown some good cover skills and has a bright future. 2nd and 2 after the pass to Sharp. Elway with play action. All day. Throws deep. Miller, touchdown. What an answer for the Denver Broncos. 3 plays, bang.
And Ray Roach told us yesterday, Mike, the one thing that he fears more than anything is when John Elway gets to the edge of the formation. He's on the edge with the play action, and Miller just runs all the way across the field. Bobby Taylor and he are in a foot race. I mean, that's all it is. This is a perfectly thrown ball. Bobby Taylor running stride for stride, cannot keep up with Anthony Miller. Look at the time John has. He's just standing still behind the goalpost there. I mean, it's unbelievable.
If John Elway has 8 seconds to throw every pass, he'll throw 20 touchdown passes in this game.
Exactly.
Jason Elam with the point after. And both teams have scored on their opening possession. Bobby Taylor was the cover guy on the last touchdown play, but you can't blame a defensive back. He can't stay with a receiver like Anthony Miller for that long. So Denver we're kicking off for the second time in the first half. And Charlie Garner at the 9. Broke a tackle, took it out to the 26-yard line.
You know, Mike, the one thing that you can't give any quarterback is an opportunity